What is up, guys? Alex from ANAK Creates here, and today I want to run through some of my top gift ideas for that producer, engineer, mixer, musical creator in your life, or frankly yourself if you've never heard of some of these things. I tried to pick some of my favorite well-rounded things that kind of work for anybody, no matter what style of music you do, or your producer engineer friend that's definitely not you does, that they would appreciate and find value in. So I tried to round it down to my top 10 favorite picks with some stocking stuffery things, as well as some things that could be the main event. The first thing on my list are called FretWraps, and these are phenomenal little things if you play guitar or bass, or you work with guitar and bass players all the time. These things are not very expensive, and they're just a small little gadget that just wraps around the strings of your guitar to deaden them when you're playing lead guitar lines, or just things that you don't want these strings ringing open. I know I absolutely love them, and I've seen a lot of rock and metal guys use them because when you're doing lead clean lines, you just don't want the open strings to ring. So those are definitely worth checking out for that guitar player in your life. The second thing are keyboard covers, and these are DAW-specific keyboard covers that just go over your keyboard that show you different keyboard shortcuts for the DAW that you're using. This requires you to know what DAW your Secret Santa is using, or yourself, but I do find that for people getting into music production, these are extremely helpful, as well as I know lots of pros that just like having that reminder on their keyboard. They also double as dust covers so you don't get crap on your keyboard, so bonus points for that. Number 3 on my list is actually not music related, but it is creativity related, and this is a book called The Practice by Seth Godin. If you don't know who Seth Godin is, you should definitely check him out. He is a phenomenal author, but this book in particular really captured my attention after I heard an interview with him about shipping creative work, and that's what the book is all about. Showing up every day to practice your creative skill and work on your creative endeavors. Now, full disclaimer, it is a very new book, and I haven't even finished it yet, but I knew within the first 40 pages that I wanted to buy this for so many creative people in my life. It just has so many words of wisdom packed into it. Number 4 is another book, but this one is actually directly related to the music industry. And this one's called How to Make It in the New Music Business. Practical Tips for Building a Loyal Following and Making a Living in the Music, but is by Herstand. I have seen this book since it came out on many people's lists as a must-read if you are in the music industry and want to make a career out of it. It is a phenomenal book, and Ari is a fantastic writer. He also has a blog called Ari's Take, which I will link in the description below, along with all the other products I'm talking about today. But even if you don't get this book, I would highly recommend checking out his blog as well. Number 5, which is Auralex MoPads. These are fantastic little foam pads that you put underneath speakers, and not only do they help separate your speakers from whatever table or stand you have the speakers on, but they also give you tilting options so that you can tilt it up or down depending on if your table is lower or higher than your ears. You have a little bit of flexibility to play with. I personally have been using them for years, so I trust them, and they're just so easy to use. Number 6 is the Anker 10-port USB hub. Now, I guess any USB hub would work, but for music producers and engineers, we know that we can never really seem to find enough USB ports for hard drives or MIDI controllers or all those little dongles that we have to plug in for our licenses. While this doesn't seem music related, it is definitely very handy for music creators. The Anker 10-port has 7 data pass-through ports that go to your computer, and 3 that actually are just charging devices because this is a powered USB hub, which is phenomenally helpful to charge your iPads, power your controllers, your AirPods if somebody's nice enough to get you those, but this gives you a lot of flexibility. Number 8, this is one of my personal favorites and something I think any creator would absolutely love, is the Samsung SSD T7. This is a fantastic, very small, very portable, very lightweight, shock-proof SSD hard drive that comes in 3 different colors and ranges from 500 gigabytes to 1 terabyte to even 2 terabytes in a tiny pocket-sized little hard drive. They're so handy to carry your projects around with you, especially if you are a laptop user and just need a fast hard drive to put your samples on or your projects on to move around. Because another thing that no creator can have enough of is hard drive storage. Number 8 is the Arturia MiniLab Mark II USB controller. This is actually personally on my list, although I have used them numerous times and I absolutely love them. Arturia makes some amazing hardware, and this little USB controller is no different. It is one of those little USB controllers that's a phenomenal bang for your buck. It only has 2 octaves of keys, so you're not going to play any like Beethoven on it, but it is phenomenal for most producers to just poke around and find sounds and play some melodies into the computer. On top of that, it also has rotary encoder knobs that can be used to play play with software instruments. It has drum pads as well as a pitch and modulation wheel on it, which is something you don't see in quality on budget USB controllers. So this is a phenomenal piece of kit for anybody, whether you're a keyboard player or not. Number 9 is a Splice Sound membership. Now, Splice Sounds is a subscription service that has lots of different loops and samples that you can drag in to your productions and use in any DAW. Splice offers a lot of different things like rent-to-buy plugins and project backup storage systems, but the Splice Sounds membership, which has the loops and samples, is great for anybody who's getting into production and just needs some sounds to work with, all the way to experienced producers who are looking for creative inspiration. The Splice Sounds library is continually updated, so there's lots to work with and new sounds all the time to get inspired by. And number 10, something that is actually still on my wish list because I haven't bitten the bullet yet, is the Native Instruments Maschine Mikro. While Native Instruments do have multiple levels, the Maschine Mikro is the smaller of the units, and it's great for anybody to get into and use the Maschine software, which is a very powerful software for beat making. And matched with Maschine hardware, it's very tactile, which makes it just even that much more inspiring. And I actually have a bonus number 11 for you, and this is the Sonarworks Reference 4 Studio Edition. This was an early Christmas gift to myself. The software and the calibration microphone help calibrate your room and your speakers so that you're listening to something as flat as possible to allow you to not worry about the coloration of your room and the speakers or your headphones. If you're using headphones, it flattens it out so that you know exactly what you're listening to. But that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a suggestion of a gift that you think some other people would like, leave it in the comments below. I'm very curious to see what you think different people would like, either as little stocking stuffers that people don't think about, or as, of course, all the gear that we all wish we could have. With that being said, I hope you have a phenomenal holiday season. I hope you stay well, I hope you stay safe, and I hope you get to enjoy some time with family, no matter what holiday you are celebrating. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in the next one. Until then, always be creating.